Hey, what's up guys? Bob here, getting a little bit later start on Tuesday night here again, just like last week. But this week though it was because as opposed to being at the dentist all day, which is horrible, on this New Year's Eve, my girlfriend and I went out and we actually saw a movie in the theater. We went and saw Wolf of Wall Street, which is by and far probably the best movie I saw all year. It's a little over 3 hours long, but I tell you, it was fantastic. It didn't feel like it at all. It was so good. It was really funny, but it also was kind of dark and points and stuff. So if you have a chance to see Wolf of Wall Street, it's directed by Scorsese. It's a DiCaprio movie, as they have all been lately when it's Martin Scorsese films. Yeah, if you have a chance to see it, you definitely should. But anyway, not going to talk too much about that. I want to go through all these movies that I got. This is basically my Christmas video. There obviously was not a video last week, and that's because Tuesday was Christmas Eve, and I was with family, Christmas Day and stuff, and then I went right back to work, so I haven't had a chance to do this. But I did get, I only got one DVD for Christmas. It was a pretty vintage media Christmas for me this year, and I ended up with a lot of Laserdiscs and stuff. I'm actually gonna talk about those last. This week too, also over the last last weekend, I did go to there's a video store about half an hour, 45 minutes away from me. We were making a day of it, going shopping and stuff, and I stopped at this video store that also sells their movies, and they were doing an awesome sale. They had a bunch of DVDs for $1 a piece, and they had a bunch of Blu-rays for $3 a piece. So I picked up a ton of stuff that I didn't have. I'll go through those really quick. For DVDs, I got a couple movies that I hadn't heard of, but seemed like something I'd be interested in probably. This is The Winning Season with Sam Rockwell. I'm a huge Sam Rockwell fan, and to be honest, I'm actually a pretty big fan of sports movies that are, feel-good sports movies and stuff. And so I was like, well, even if it's horrible, it does have Rob Corddry in it, who... I'm not a huge Rob Corddry fan. He's horrible, but I figure Sam Rockwell will make up the difference there. And then my girlfriend picked out this movie with Charlize Theron, young adult, which I've never heard of, but it sounds like it could be okay. It's basically like a former prom queen who is going back home, and she's kind of down on her luck, and she's trying to pick up her old high school boyfriend, but I guess he's married or something. I don't know. It seems like it's an R-rated comedy. It seems like it's probably a black comedy and stuff, so we'll probably give it a watch at some point. I don't know if I even will. She definitely will, obviously, but we'll see, and see how that goes. And another one that she picked up is this film with Jessica Alba called The Invisible Sign. I didn't even read the synopsis yet, so I'm not even 100% sure what this movie's even about. But the only special feature on it is that it has the trailer, so I guess I could put it in and watch the special features. Let me see if it does have J.K. Simmons in it, who was in the Spider-Man films, but is also in Oz, which is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. So, it might be worth a watch. I really have no idea what it's about. I guess she's a teacher or something, at any rate. And then I picked up a couple of these myself. This is a movie, The Wave, which I know is on Netflix, or was on Netflix, and I kept wanting to watch it, and I didn't. But basically, it's about a teacher in Germany who is... he's like trying this experiment with his students to teach him what what the Nazi Party was like totalitarianism, stuff like that, and it's supposed to be really good. And I put it in my queue at one point in time, a long time ago, when it was in there. I don't know if it still is, and I never watched it, so I figured I'd own it for $1, and even if it's horrible, then it was only $1. And this is a movie that I actually watched a couple years ago, a year or two ago now when it came out. This is Glenn Close and Albert Nobbs, where Glenn Close plays a woman who's dressed as a man for many, many, many years, playing a butler for this rich family and stuff. And it's definitely dry, but it was really, really good. Glenn Close, she carried the performance very well, and it was a really good film. So, again, figured for $1 I'd pick that up. And this last DVD that I grabbed is probably my favorite horror movie to come out in the last handful of years, and that is The Loved Ones. And this is a great, horror thriller movie. It was released. I actually think it was released only in the U.S. last year, but the movie's from a couple of years ago now. So, but it's a foreign film. Oh God, I can't remember what country this comes from. Is it Australia? I believe that it is, but it was released there first, obviously, and it came out here on DVD later. And if you haven't had a chance to check this out, you are at all a fan of horror, psychological thrillers, edge of your seat kind of movies. It's not super, super violent, although it has some scenes of violence and stuff, obviously, but it's a lot more implied than than the torture porn kind of movies or anything like that. But it's definitely worth a watch. And then the one DVD that I got for Christmas, this is from, I guess my 3-year-old niece saw this in a store when she was out with my brother and said, can we get that from Uncle Bobby? So they picked it up for me like months ago, sitting there. And that is the movie Slither. I have no idea what would make her think that I would want this, except that she knows that I like horror movies, maybe? I have no idea. Sometimes she just does random stuff. She's 3, so almost 4 now, but... I don't know what... I know what this movie is. I've never saw this movie, and I actually didn't own it, so I guess it was coincidence that she decided that I needed that movie. So those are the DVDs that I got over the last few weeks, and that one DVD for Christmas. And then I did get a handful of Blu-rays at that store while I was there as well. I got this Brittany Murphy and Thor Birch movie, Deadline. It's just a haunting movie. Never heard of it, but I figured, what the heck. Obviously, it's a few years old because Brittany Murphy's been dead for a few years now here. So I'm not sure. 2009. I'd never heard of it. I don't know if it's direct to DVD. Probably was, but it might be worth a watch. I do enjoy ghost stories and stuff like that. And this is from the douchebag who made Super Size Me. This is Palm Wonderful Presents The Greatest Movie Ever Sold. I actually like this one. Super Size Me is such a scam, and it's such a joke and a lie, across the board. But I still enjoy like fun documentaries, and this movie is a documentary about selling. Product placement, basically, in films and stuff like that. And he pitches this whole movie to all these companies to try to get them, to make this movie based like 100% on just product placement and paid for by the companies and stuff. So that's why it's Palm Wonderful Presents. And this is this was a pretty fun movie. It was I don't know, there's not really anything to be one-sided about. It's not that kind of a documentary, but it was pretty good. This is a movie I saw a couple years ago and I actually really like because I'm a big Garrett Hedlund fan. Who's he was in Friday Night Lights, the movie, which I didn't see until years later. But he was in Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon. He plays the bad guy in that. He's fantastic. In this, he plays a country singer to Gwyneth Paltrow's aging country stardom fading. She's a drug addict and stuff. And this is Country Strong, which is not normally a movie that I would think would be up my alley, but I watched it when it came out a while ago and I enjoyed it, so I figured I'd add it to the collection. This movie I had to actually grab just to finish up the collection because I have all the other Mission Impossible movies on HD DVD, so I grabbed this one on Blu-ray. This is Ghost Protocol. This is the last one. I enjoy Tom Cruise's movies. I mean, as far as his politics go, and as far as his like religious, the nut job of it, I don't really care about what actors and that bullshit. I don't care about that off-screen stuff. He can carry an action movie for sure, and this movie, if you haven't seen it, is by far the best Mission Impossible movie. It's a good action. It also has Simon Pegg in it, who I like a lot, and Jeremy Renner, who's been doing a lot more action movies lately and stuff. He was in the last Bourne movie, and he was pretty good in it as well. This movie, I don't know why I bought it, but I figured, what the hell, all the girls like it. Maybe, I don't know if my girlfriend will watch it, but I grabbed Magic Mike, figuring it'll be worth a watch at some point in time. Obviously, if you guys have been watching my videos, I watch and collect everything, so that's why I grabbed that. Who knows? I guess it's something that, it's fun, hot, and sexy. There's probably no women in it. And then the last couple that I grabbed at that store, I did get Will Ferrell and Casa de Mi Padre, although I don't know why, because I hate Will Ferrell with a passion, but I figure I've seen every Will Ferrell movie up to this point, I think, except for this and Anchorman 2. And for the most part, they're all pretty bad. Let me back that up. Most of his movies are pretty funny. Like Anchorman is really funny, but he's not funny in it at all. I don't find that anything that he says or does is funny in most movies. He just has an amazing supporting cast. And you come out of the movie thinking, God, that was a really funny Will Ferrell movie, and it's like, yeah, but he wasn't funny in it. And that's pretty much my opinion on Will Ferrell. But I still own his movies, and I've got a bunch of them because they're good for what they are, I guess. Plus, I like to collect. Obviously, half this shit, it is what it is. I just collect. I'm a collector, and some of them I will watch. I mean, I will watch this movie, and if I hate it, then it's still just in the collection. And then a couple movies that I did see that I enjoyed. Chernobyl Diaries, which is a horror movie set in the ruins of Pripyat, as in Chernobyl, the disaster in Chernobyl. And it's the movie is not fantastic, but I really, really like urban exploration and the abandoned buildings, abandoned stuff like that. And Chernobyl is probably the one place that I'll never get to go in life, and I would absolutely love to go and explore. And you can. There's parts of it, that are still heavy radiation, but there's a lot of other parts that are not. And the movie kind of makes creatures and stuff like that and all that shit, but it was still okay. And then the last one I got at that video store is Get the Gringo with Mel Gibson. Again, another guy who has crazy politics and crazy religion off screen and stuff, but he still is a good actor and he carries the movie. And I've seen this 2 or 3 times now. My girlfriend actually just watched it not too long ago. It's on Netflix, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's a good, fun cop movie, basically. So that's why I grabbed that. I say cop. It's a cop criminal movie. He's a criminal, but it was a good one. And then I got this the other day when it came out last week, and I haven't seen it yet, but I do enjoy the first one a lot. Insidious 2. This might be the movie, if I can talk my girlfriend into watching it. We might watch this one tonight. I don't think she liked the first one, so who knows? We have to think of something, because we're getting into the... it's 5 o'clock on New Year's Eve, and we're just staying in tonight and doing some dinner and stuff, and we don't have cable, so I don't know if we'll be watching the ball drop, but I guess we gotta watch a movie at some point. And then going into the last stack of stuff I got a bunch of Laserdiscs, and this is really cool because I'm really, it's cool that I got all this vintage media for Christmas, because you don't, if this were still the early, late 80s, early 90s when Laserdiscs were popular, I probably would have got one Laserdisc, and that would have been my big present. Instead, I got a stack of them here. So, and the first one I got, a movie I've never seen, although you would think I would have by now, Cape Fear. This is, De Niro and Nick Nolte, and it's a thriller, I guess. I mean, I've heard of it a million times, and I have no idea what the film is actually about. I know it's a Scorsese movie. Yeah, it is. But, psychological torment. So, this is one of those ones. I actually wish that I had it on another media too, because this is 2 discs, which means it's going to take forever to watch, because my Laserdisc player is not an auto flip. That's an investment that's coming soon, so that would take forever, because after 20 minutes, half an hour in the movie, you got to stop, flip the disc, then take it out again, put the next disc in, and all that stuff. But a couple of these are long play discs, so that's kind of neat. Movie that I do love, and I've seen many times, Ed Wood, with Johnny Depp playing Ed Wood. Of course, the guy who made the supposed worst movie of all time, Plan 9 from Outer Space, which I don't necessarily feel like that's the worst movie ever, but this is not a documentary, it's a biopic on Ed Wood, and it's fantastic and it's hilarious. And what else do we get here? So I got Ace Ventura Pet Detective, which I have on DVD and VHS and now on Laserdisc, and everybody's seen this by now, so you know what that's all about. Oh, this is a movie I have not seen in years, The Babe, with John Goodman, who I love, and John Goodman, pretty straightforward, but again, a biopic. I don't know how accurate this is, but it's John Goodman playing Babe Ruth, and that's a fantastic movie. I haven't seen that one in years. That's a long play disc, so that's nice, because with these long play discs, it's only one disc, and you put the disc in, and halfway through, you probably flip it, but at least it's not like Terminator, which I have. I point over there like it's still over there. It's in the other room now. It's like five or 6 discs. So, and this is a fun one to have on Laserdisc. Private Parts with Howard Stern. Howard Stern does nothing for me now, but when this movie came out, it was hilarious, and I think that this movie is one of those ones that it actually has some repeat watch value. He's not really shocking anymore, but at the point in time when that movie came out, and right before, he was the shock jock, and that's what people thought of him. So, this is a nice one. I only had a chance to look through these really quick, so some of these I don't know what the movies are. Like the next one, I'll tell you a good story about this one here in a minute. But, Pinocchio, do I have to talk about Pinocchio? You know what Pinocchio is. And then, let me see. Here's another movie I have not seen, but I know, I've heard, obviously, about a million times. A Fish Called Wanda. This is actually something I should probably watch, because I know it's supposed to be really hilarious, and I can't believe, to be honest, after all this time, that I've never seen it. So, I'll have to check that one out soon. This is a movie that I've never heard of, period, and my dad bought it because there was a good story behind it. My whole family worked in movie theaters for years, and my dad at one point was the general manager at a movie theater, and he got this movie. He found out was going to be coming out, Keaton's Cop with Lee Majors, and he found out this movie was going to be coming out and didn't know anything about it. So he called up, I guess, his boss, and he got, I don't know if it was her secretary or whatever the case may be, but he said to whoever it was that was answering the phone, what the hell is this movie? And the woman yells out to his boss and says, who's in Keaton's Cop? And the old guy comes back, Abe Vigoda. And that's like my dad's favorite story about that. He thinks it's hilarious. And I don't know anything about this movie except that it has Lee Majors and Abe Vigoda in it. So it does have explosions. I enjoy explosions and dead golfers. Clearly it's a cop movie. It's an R-rated. Is it a buddy comedy? Maybe. I mean, with Don Rickles and Lee Majors. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be worth a shot. God, they couldn't be any older. I think everybody in this movie might be dead. Lee Majors dead? I don't know. Anyway, that's why he got me that, was just so he could tell me that story, basically, I guess. And then the last one, those are all from my dad, by the way. This is the last one he got me, Fatal Attraction. And this is like a special edition. And I've never seen this one, but I guess he was telling me that it has a different ending on this. You know what? But I've never seen it in the first place, so it has both endings on this Fatal Attraction: an original ending, and then the theatrical ending. It presents a favorite scene he reluctantly left on the cutting room floor. Yeah, so it's fake signed. I was like, who signed this? But nobody. It's just supposed to be. I guess it's Adrian Lynn's signature, maybe. I don't know. At any rate, those are all the ones my dad got me for Christmas, and then my brother got me one as well, and I was pretty psyched on this one too. And that another John Goodman movie, Matinee, and I fucking love this movie. This movie is great. It makes me wish that I was a child during the Cuban Missile Crisis, going to horror movies and that kind of stuff, because that's exactly what this movie's about. Coming of age, these kids during the Cuban Missile Crisis and that time period. And John Goodman is supposed to be like a Vincent Price kind of guy, Alfred Hitchcock kind of guy who does all these kitschy, movie stunts like they did back in the day when the director or the filmmaker would go from town to town with his movie and show them off, and that's what John Goodman plays. And the coolest thing about this is, I think it is on the Blu-ray now, but I'm not 100% sure. But in the movie, there is the movie that he's bringing around, one of the movies is Mant. And on this Laserdisc, it does have the featurette of Mant, and that was the first and only time. It's not on the DVD, it wasn't on the VHS. Like I said, I think it might be on the Blu-ray, but I'm not sure if the movie ever was actually released on Blu-ray. I just remember looking it up that it was supposed to. I think that it was, but maybe it wasn't in the US. I don't remember, but at any rate, that's awesome that it's on here, and I'm so I haven't actually watched it yet because we've been so busy. I went right back to work after Christmas, but it's dusty. Excuse me, I just blew some dust out of it. So anyway, yeah, I'm pretty stoked to get all these Laserdiscs. It was definitely a vintage media Christmas. I didn't get any Blu-rays for Christmas from anybody. I only got that one DVD. Like I said, no VHS for Christmas, although I have a whole bag of VHS that I've got lately. I'm not going to do that in this video because I'm sure this video has already gone on too long for most people. But anyway, so yeah, that was the stuff that I got. And, next year we'll be back to it on Tuesday again. Hopefully I can get it done earlier in the day. We'll see what's out there. I might not go out and get anything. I might just do the VHS next week, show those off. I still have a whole other bag of VHS that I never got to show off either. But I'll pick and choose, see what's out there, and we'll see what happens next week. But anyway, yeah, those are all the movies I picked up this week, guys. Hopefully you found something. Hopefully you saw something that maybe you wanted to watch, and remind you to go and grab it and pick it up yourself. I have a whole slew of Blu-ray from my Blu-rays, the digital copies, and I have no use for them whatsoever. So if you are interested in getting a list, I'm just going to sell them at a couple of bucks a piece. I'll send you the code if you want to PayPal me the money, because I don't do the digital copies, so I don't have any reason for them. They're ultraviolet, and they're all from Blu-ray, so they're all the HD. If anybody wants anything, you want a list of what I have, just email me. Email's in the link always. It's thatmovieguy@icloud.com.